Right. Welcome back. This is Rajesh again. Uh, I'm going to discussing about the topic of type conversions in C language. Right. Uh, the type conversions. The type conversions is the converting a variable value or a constant value temporarily from one data type to another data type for a particular purpose of calculation is known as a type conversion. People understand it actually. you know uh, the converting from one data type to another data type. So this is what the simple concept, in other words also we can able to say. So uh, basically, for what is the purpose we are going to doing that, in order to do some kind of calculations, or for the presentation purpose we can able to go for it also, right? So how many types of conversions that was been happening in C language based on the compiler? There are two types. One is automatic type conversion or implicit conversion. Uh, casting a value or casting a value, casting a value or explicit value. Explicit conversion. Okay, automatic implicit conversion and explicit conversions. These are the two things that we can able to go with the conversion concepts. Right. We can able to see. We can able to say that. See, the implicit conversion in this higher data type can be converted into the lower data type. Higher data type can be converted into lower data type. Right. See, why this definition has been, we are calling it as the higher data type can be converted into lower data type. So, whereas in the explicit data type, see, in the implicit concept, it is an auto conversion type. The compiler will take care, nothing to specify anything externally. Okay, whereas in the simple words, we can able to say, for example, we already been discussed about the data types. So, for example, let us say int is having 2 bytes, whereas float is having 4 bytes. I want to convert to this lower data type. I want to store, for example, let us say some x is the value, where int x is holding is int x is equal to 10. I said, okay, but I said float y. So what will happen? I want to say that y is equal to x, I said, man. So what happened? Where y is holding the data type of 4 of float, which is having a size of 4 bytes, and where x is the value of holding the data type of int, which is the size of 2 bytes. So can I able to store these 2 bytes into the 4 bytes one? Yes, it is possible. So that is why, so this kind of this kind of conversions, we are calling it as an implicit conversion. We are not required or bothered about these kind of conversions. Your compiler will automatically take care about those things. Okay, so the float value can be converted into the integral value by removing the fractional parts also. So here, what is trying to saying here is the highest data type, in the sense, for example, let us say some float y is equal to some 10.123. Okay, and int x is equal to y, I said. Then what will happen? The highest data type is nothing but the float. It is having the 4 bytes, but it was being converted into integer. So how it was going to be converted? By removing the decimal points. Then the 10.123 is the actual value. It was being removed with the decimal points, and the 10 is the value that was going to be stored into the variable of integer variable, that is nothing but x here now. So that's what the definition in this definition is trying to saying. In this higher data type can be converted into lower data type. That's what he's trying to say. And the float value can be converted into integer value by removing the fractional part. Double value can be converted into float value by rounding a rounding of the digits. Long int can be converted into int value by removing the higher order bit. Explicit conversion. So in this explicit conversion, the programmer has to explicitly specify to which data type it was going to be converted. So in this type of conversion, the programmer can convert one data type to other data type explicitly. So you can see that data type, so expression. So the expression can be a constant or a variable. So for, let us example see that y is equal to int of a plus b. So the a plus b, whatever the value it was going to be giving, whether it is a fractional point, also it has to be converted into what meant int. So cos of double of x, that's what so cos of double of x, that's what he's trying to say. Okay, so that has to be stored into the variable of y. Double a is equal to 6.5 and double b is equal to 6.5. So finally the result I need to display it as an remove the fractional parts and give the integers. So what should I do? Int result is equal to, I'm going to converting that int of a plus int of b. What will happen? 6.5 instead of 6.5, it was going to be taking the value of 6, and for int conversion, explicit conversion, that b has been converted into int. So this is what the syntax that we need to follow: conversion, data type, and as well as the variable name. So 6, and so totally 6 plus 6, what is the value? 12 instead of 13. So that is how we are going to be doing the explicit conversions. Okay, so and another is expression evaluation. So how can you do the expression evaluation? Man, see, let us assume like a sequence of operands and operators that reduce a single value. Single value is known as expression, right? Expressions are evaluated using an assignment statements of the form. So syntax variable is equal to expression, that's what he's trying to say. See, let us assume like uh, x is equal to a star b minus c. A star b minus c. So these are all nothing but an expressions that we can simply call it as. So using assignment operators, and an expression should always be end with semicolon. That is mandatory. Okay.